ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host, Andres, here, right over here. It's the Starlight Princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
Am doing great, Andre. I actually was just watching some new Stardom wrestling before
Hmm?
coming on here and obviously beating the face because she needs work. Um, Fun day though. I've been like binge watching wrestling, keep up with some projects that I'm doing. Been getting a lot of research done. My goodness, it's been busy, busy, busy. How are you doing this week, Matt?
Just answering a lot of questions because Melball keeps sending me videos. What's this move called? What's this move called?
Well, and like we're gonna further this with this one. It really is supremely beneficial if you're running a wrestling promotion to have some kind of commentary, whether it is Japanese or English. At least the Japanese occasionally yell the moves in
Yeah.
English as well, so I can at least understand, be like, oh, okay, that was at least I know that was a suplex of some kind. Might not know what, but it was.
Hmm?
Help people out. Give us commentary if you have access to it because it helps me not hassle Andre on his days off.
Oh, I don't mind it. It's just when you sent me the Tope Con Hilo, I'm like, come on. I literally
I
went,
know,
come on. You've called that when we've been watching
I
wrestling together.
know. I think it's just because I wasn't used to the person doing it. Maybe that's
Mhm.
probably why. But like seeing it, I was just like, I know that over the top rope is a con hilo, but I couldn't remember if the flip included was the con hilo or not.
Well, the Con Hilo is the
Is the
flip
flipping
over.
part?
Yeah,
And the
because
tope is
the
just the
Tope is
diving
over the
part.
Tope is over the top, and Con Hilo is the rotation.
Okay, so when it's a low pay
Essentially.
between the middle and bottom rope, though,
Yeah, but
tope
that's just more
also
of a
goes between the top and the middle rope too, right? Because
yeah, it's a
like
Tope
just the Bushi rock.
Suicida.
Yeah. So yeah, see, this is where my confusion was.
Hmm.
Maybe the tope should be the top and the middle should be a mope instead of a tope. Middle. Stop confusing a Melball.
How did
We
I know you were gonna say that? Oh, I was in my head before you said it. I'm like, she's gonna say Mope. She's gonna say Mope.
well, it makes sense. Low pay is low, toe pay is high, mo pay is in the middle. It would make sense. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Should that be
Because
a thing?
at least over here, you can call a low one a low pay. The middle one for English is just called a suicide dive, right? Between the top and middle is just suicide dive over here, like in English, and the
What
English
about the
version.
lucha stuff? I'm fairly certain they still call it a tope suicida.
It is, but again, the
Yeah.
English way to say that is just suicide dive, right? Versus
Right, right,
tope,
right.
where the tope and even in like you hear like Michael Cole call tope con hilo when a guy does the flip dive over the top. He'll say tope. So it's really weird how we use the same phrase. It's English. We just do whatever we want. We
I was
just
gonna say it's our stupid language that's
there,
freaking
and there,
fucking everything up.
there, and there.
Your,
Your, yep. All this just
yo, yo, yo,
it
yo,
all
yo,
makes
yo, 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 yo. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. That all makes sense. But we're going to talk about it. We're here to talk about some Stardom 14th anniversary Supreme Fight in Korakuen 2025. And this
Yeah.
show actually outselling the New Japan show in the same venue the following day.
To be fair, I feel like that show was just a house show for New Japan, wasn't it?
No, that had the TV title match on it.
Yeah, but like it wasn't considered a big show. It was just a
No,
road to new
but
beginning show.
still, Stardom. I'm sorry, Stardom shouldn't be outselling. Like you got to look at where the companies are positioned in there. We just went over this in Japanese Wrestling Update. They're the number one ticket selling company, yet they're getting outsold by a promotion that is owned by them
Yeah, yeah,
the
but
day before in the same venue. So
I mean, as someone who has binge watched the last week of all of these shows from Stardom, from New Japan, if I'm gonna make an observation, the quality of booking in Stardom has gotten a lot better.
Hmm.
So the quality has gotten a lot better in comparison to New Japan. New Japan, like, you know how New Japan, especially in these tours, when they only have the set amount of people, they can get a little repetitive with the things. And we talked a little bit about it, how the undercard matches start to look all the same, and it's the same people squaring off against the same things, building up for matches that are happening at the end of the tour. And it can get a little bit redundant.
Hmm.
Stardom do that. They don't have that repetition, and they're simultaneously building different stories, different feuds, different disagreements, different this and that. They're doing it without being boring. So, maybe now that, House of Torture doesn't seem to be as torturous anymore now, which is unfortunate because of the issues surrounding that, which we'll, I'm sure, talk about on another show. Um, it's still oddly something it clearly is showing me that House of Torture wasn't the exclusive problem. We'll just end it at that so we can get into this.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about it's the 14th anniversary of Stardom here. The Supreme Fight show that started 14 years ago in
Mhm.
February of 2011. Kicked it off. They kicked the promotion off. So they're back 14 years later. Supreme Fight in Korakuen. We are going to get into it. There's the poster right there with the main event of the World of Stardom title match between Suzu Suzuki and champion Saya Kamitani.
Mhm.
So we kicked it off with there was a pre-show match that I didn't watch. It was Akira Kurogane versus Yuria Hime, and it was a 5-minute time limit draw. So I don't feel like I missed anything because it wasn't on the copy I watched.
Yeah, it wasn't on what I watched either. But I have seen these two in various tag bouts
Mm-hmm.
throughout the Stardom shows and the time that has come since the show. Both of them doing very, very good. What was her name? Akira very much gives me Shuri vibes. Like the
Mm-hmm.
way she wrestles, the way she stands, her look, her vibe, everything about the way she screams, even. It's like I'm looking at young blood Shuri in her. So I'm very interested to see how that progresses because she is already very, very good. Very, very good in the ring, very solid from what I'm seeing within her tag matches with other people, doing very, very good and taking moves very well. Whereas Yuria here, she kind of almost gives me Kooky Amore in the styling that she has. Very kind of, you can tell she's kind of very new in comparison to Akira. Akira gives me again that kind of she's going to be a successful transitional fighter to wrestler. And Yuria, I think, is a very traditional style. So we're going to see her, I think, hanging a bit more with people like Hanako, maybe even Koguma. Hmm.
So we get into the main card, and it kicks off with an 8-woman tag match. It is Empress Nexus Venus. Here we go. Here we go. Empress Nexus Venus taking Hanako, Maika, Mina Shirakawa, and Waka Tsukiyama versus Hates Azusa Inaba, Momo Watanabe, Rina, and Thekla. Um, this is an observation just because I've been seen a lot of Maika lately. She's the new Tommy for this company.
Hmm.
She stepped into that role, and
Hmm.
she stepped into that look too. She's very much the hair has very much gone closer to a Tommy's. If you
Yeah,
watch,
yeah.
if you see the Stardom Awards, she was in the dress
Pants.
pants like
Yeah,
Utami would
yeah.
have been. Yeah, so again, I was just
100%.
like, I'm like, she's really claiming that Utami role, and I'm like, I'm okay with it.
Arguably, I mean, and you know how much I love Utami. She's one of my top five favorite wrestlers. She used to be my favorite. Unfortunately, she's been dethroned just because she hasn't had as great a year for me over in Marigold that someone like Maika has had in Stardom. Maika's
Mhm.
been holding down the fort. You're absolutely right. She has stepped up into that kind of, I would say, the vettiest of the veterans, if you
Mhm.
will. Standing right up next to Shorty, I'd say.
Yeah.
Mm,
Maika calling for the handshake from Thekla, but hate all attack, and they're tossing Empress Venus into the chairs on the floor, beating him up at
mm,
ringside. They
mhm.
get Waka in the ropes, tie Waka in the ropes, and do the pose thing. And then as they break, Momo just kicks Waka right in the ass, just right in the ass. I was like, oh, that's so mean, so
You gotta
mean.
take out her weapon, man.
Yeah, those Waka weapons, right?
Right?
Mina gets this beautiful, like she gets an Indian death, or the death lock onto, I think it was Azusa, and then DDT's Rina, essentially snapping the legs with the death lock of
Yeah, yeah,
Azusa.
yeah.
Really good double team. Theka getting a Rings of Saturn on Mina, but Mina does get to the ropes. Mike offers the handshake again when she's in with Thekla, and they take it, and then they just start smacking each other in the face over and over again. It was great. It was
Mhm, mhm,
um the end of the match comes. Mina misses a punch. She gets hit hard by Thekla. She gets tossed into Rina, and she just out of the ring. And Rina starts smashing her with a chair, just
mhm,
wailing on her. Then the ref gets hit by Maika incidentally. Momo hits
mhm,
Maika with the bat. Her and Thekla hit the double buzzsaw kicks, and then Thekla picks up Maika, hits the poison gumbo death drop for the win. I got that
love the
right
name.
off the I got that right off the website, off of Stardom site. The Poison Gumbo Death Drop, which is the butterfly lock deadfall.
I
So
was
yeah,
gonna say,
or the double underhook.
interesting name.
Yeah,
I love
yeah, the
it.
double underhook deadfall. But yeah, it's what it said. It said Poison Gumbo Death Drop. She gets the win. After the
Mhm,
match, he continues to beat down on EXV,
mhm,
and Rena hits Pink Devil. Uh, to Mina onto a chair, and then she
mhm,
picks up Mina and whips her at Thekla, who smashes her with a chair again. And then I was watching, I'm like, I think I know what happened to Mina, because Mina did get injured in this match. Because if you
mhm,
watch Mina take the pink devil, she then starts grabbing her wrist. And that's what Waka immediately puts the ice to when she comes to check
mhm,
on her. I'm thinking maybe she hurt her wrist. Again, she was clutching at the wrist after the match. Like she could see her holding it. And it was like not like a way of like,
mhm,
oh, but like in like I'm holding it out like, kind of looks. Again,
mhm.
that's just observation, but it's hard to tell where she got injured in here.
Yeah, because for me, I noticed the attention on her back, lower back there, where they were putting the ice on her lower back after, and the fact that she couldn't walk out, she had to be carried
Mm,
out also would suggest to me that it was maybe a more of a lower body injury. Because if it was just a wrist or an arm, not to say that that wasn't also injured in the process, but I, as someone who has, dislocated my arm and my shoulder before, I could walk around. I had to go to the hospital.
but again,
Whereas
there's also a sell job in there. Mina's also trying to sell dead from all the chair shots,
absolutely,
so
yeah,
them carrying
yeah,
her out also helps the sell job.
it
So
does.
yeah,
We'll have to wait and see. Japan is a little more secretive
mm.
with the reasoning as to why there's injuries if they're not very obvious, like someone losing their teeth. Ah, uh, but yeah, what did you talk about? Yeah, the handshake story here where Thekla um, and Micah, having their kind of disagreements. I kind of realized this was kind of the first kind of really serious times that they've been in the ring together on obvious opposing sides of the fence since DDM kind of disbanded. And it's worth noting, Thekla was kind of being abandoned by her stablemates at the tail end of DDM there, Maika included. Maika was doing her thing with Megan Bain. My Sakurai and Julia were doing their thing. Thekla was kind of I don't want to say discarded, but it did kind of feel, and if I was her, I would feel discarded from the rest of my faction. So I'm not surprised the animosity going towards Micah in this. Um, the sandwich kicks that Momo seems to do, either with Inaba or with Thekla are just they're so mean, so nasty, and it's become a signature of hers. It's always Momo involved in it. It's just she likes to switch out whoever is doing it with her. Um, Also want to point out uh HANAKO in this match, especially I noticed her timing, her ability to just get in there at the right time, do the things that she's supposed to do is so organically perfect. How good she has gotten in such a short period of time is just insanely impressive. I love the spider antics of Tekla, where she's doing the bridge to avoid strikes and she's still crawling around and creeping people out. I love it. It just works so well with the personality now, especially being in hate. I loved seeing it when she was with DDM, but it almost felt heelish in a face um, kind of faction. So I feel like hate is just the right place for her right now. Um, that again with the sandwich kicks, but Maika avoids them. Then chaos
Oh.
ensues after that. Yeah, just that was when everyone started coming in, popping off their moves, and it was just like, yeah, after the series of unfortunate events, the ref gets hit, Hate's able to capitalize, and Thekla pulls off big win against not only a former friend, but a former world champion.
Mhm.
And Maika, the post-match beatdown, I did appreciate how immediately Waka and Hanako were both in diving on top of Mina, trying to
Mhm.
protect her because she was getting the worst of the beatdown on that. Um, yeah, whatever happened with that, hopefully Mina makes a speedy recovery. But it's worth noting that Thekla wasn't very present in the week that followed in
Yeah.
Stardom. Mhm.
Yeah. So we move on to a tag team match. It is God Size Hina and Lady C versus Neogenesis's Neogenesis, May Sarah and Empress Nexus Venus's and Empress Nexus Venuses, Rian.
Mina sees.
Well, Venus's doesn't or Genesis's doesn't sound proper to me.
I don't like, and it's our word too. Like, how does this anyway? Take us into it, man.
I don't like Hina and Lady C. Whoever's music they came out to, I don't like that music. I just don't.
It's heinous.
Yeah, I don't like it. It it just doesn't sound right to me.
No, it's bad.
It's not
It's
good music.
bad.
Um,
No.
this there's a spot in this match. The Lady C catches Rian, and she's like
Oh yeah.
cradling her, and she looks like she's like carrying her like a baby, and because she's
Yeah.
so small compared to how big Lady C is, and then she just like readjusts her, drops her down, and just starts spinning her in that giant swing. So good.
That was
And then
the longest swing I think I've ever seen Lady C do with that. And I think it had everything to do with the size and stature of Rian because she is so petite. It
yep,
really is like you're swinging a child. And she actually held her pretty like parallel to her for a good long while before she started to drop. So
yeah,
fun.
yeah. There's a nice spot with Lady C and Sarah in the ring where she grabs her in like goes for like the snapmare, but then just
Mhm.
brings her down and face spot like drives the face into her knee. I
Yeah.
really like that variation of the stomp.
Mhm.
Rion getting a victory roll into the double stomp on Hina, and she
Mhm.
gets two, and then just stands back up and double stomps her again and gets another two count. I'm like, I love the commitment to it.
She's
Um,
feisty.
and in the end, Lady C and Hina hit a 3D onto Rian, and Hina hits her Fisherman Buster Jackhammer for the win.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Well,
I
it's the
just
best I can describe it because she lifts her up like a Fisherman Buster, but then turns like Goldberg. Like she does that turn into the slam,
Mhm.
almost like it turns into like a power slam. So it's essentially a Fisherman Jackhammer is what I what I best I can call it.
Okay, because I just wrote it as a fisherman hook suplex because I didn't know.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's just the way she has it and then turns it into like a power, almost a slam style. It looks like the jackhammer. So
that's probably the nicest thing that's going to be said about Hina when I start talking because god damn it. I am struggling, Andre, with Hina, and I have been. You know how I've been struggling with her a hot minute. Maybe maybe I'm being biased, I don't know, but like I have not seen an appropriate amount of progression from her. Even having come back, it just of all the people in this match, you know how I always say this, when you have more people, the more people you add, there's got to be a weakest link. For me in this match, it was Hina. I just can't understand why she's getting a push right now. Because in comparison to Lady C outperformed her. That's not to say that Hina's not good. She's good. But the other three in this match are great. And it's hard to it's hard. It's hard, Andre. I really was not very impressed with Hina's performance in this one. I didn't feel she was as quick as Rian. I didn't feel she was performing her moves as quickly. And if I can go so far, I even just don't like the gear that she has. I don't feel it fits her personality. Coupling with the music, I'm just like, I feel like it's time for complete makeover
yeah,
for Hina because she feels like Sonata. You know, she's good in ring. She's not great, just like Sonata. He's not great. He's good, but he's not great. And in high intensity situations, he can't deliver. Same with Hina. The gear with Sonata is atrocious. I wouldn't say Hina's is atrocious. It just doesn't fit the gimmick of what it is that she's trying to project to us. And then the charisma. She doesn't have that natural charisma as does Sonata. So, like, again, she's not bad because I personally don't feel in Stardom there's any bad wrestlers. She's just good.
well, and you can look in this match and compare it to Rian, who like watching Rian, I see stutters, I see things, but then again, she is very new, so you can
Mhm,
let that go a bit, being how early she is in her career, you don't get mad at it, but then you go and
mhm,
compare it to Hina, and you're like, girl, you've been wrestling way longer. Your sister again, you took time off. I get it to finish school and
mhm.
everything, but your both your sisters are so far ahead of you, and yes, both have had more wrestling experience than you, but you have had a lot of wrestling experience. You should be a little farther ahead than you are. But I
Mhm.
and like I can't get mad because people then complain. Well, Rihanna, it's like, well, she just debuted in this company a few months back.
Yeah.
You can't fault her for her stutters and everything. Where
And
with
even
Hina,
still,
she's been
if you
around for a
look at
long time.
everything she's done in this match too, there may have been stutters, but everything she did was crisp and good and very well educated, and her timing is a hell of a lot better than Hina's.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I don't know.
There's
I
just
just
people who have the natural talent for it, which Rina clearly has. I just feel that Rina also does put a lot of work into her character work, and it shows in every area that she does. Because she has a pretty decent online presence as well as an in-ring presence. You hear people cheering for Rina and chanting for Hina, and she almost seems confused at times about it. So, like, I don't know, maybe Hina needs to start putting as much effort into it as Rina does, because Hanan has that like baby face energy that I think she's just herself. So, like, I don't know, something has to change. I would love to see an overhaul of Hina's just everything. See her become something.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
agree with that.
Mhm,
I can really agree with that. Again, she has just it doesn't seem to work with her. And I just
mhm.
looked it up. Rian is older than Hina. She's
No way.
19. Hina's only 18.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
I thought
And
she was
she's
16.
she started training in March of last year. So
And she's already this good?
yeah, her first match was March.
That's
She's only
crazy.
been here a year. Hina started her first professional match. Where was I? Had it just a second ago. Her first professional match was in 2017. In June of 2017. She only wrestled 5 matches that year, and then wouldn't wrestle. She wrestled like 5 matches the entire year. Then 2018, she didn't start really. She didn't wrestle much either. It was kind of 2019 when she started like full time wrestling. But
Mm.
still, I
It's still 6 years experience if we don't include
eight.
those 2 years.
Yeah, and one of those years you can see where she kind of gapped off. She in
Okay, so
2021
still 5.
was a gap was a kind of a gap year for her only having 27 matches because I think time off
Yeah.
for school and stuff. But yeah, like hmm,
The difference in experience, despite it just being a year, is very, very painfully obvious.
yeah, yeah. So we move on. Singles match between Koguma and Suri Jr. This was Suri Jr. versus Koguma. She literally was
Well,
wearing Suri's gear.
she was, yes, she was.
I
I said the same thing as soon as she came out. I'm like, "Oh my god." Okay, there's a story behind this though,
what's that? I
'cause
so a
there
person that
were
so what
Go ahead, go
just
ahead.
before I thought this was like some kind of cosplay match. She was gonna be dressed up as Suri and Koguma would be like Maya Iwatani or something, but then Koguma comes out and goes like, no, she's just dressing as Suri. Okay, what the hell?
Yeah, let me find the note here for it. Um,
I don't know. I was just like, really? You just have to copy your trainer? Okay. Weird, but
yeah,
okay.
so I don't I have to, like, go through maybe it happened after. Mm,
Yeah, I'll
I
talk about
can't
the post
remember.
match stuff,
There
but yeah.
Go for it, go for it.
No, I'll go through it once we go through the match. You want me to go through the
Mhm.
match here? Let's see if you can find it because it's a the match is a Kuma contra Kuma unlimited time singles match. So it just means there's no time limit. So
Yeah, um, I know I wrote notes on it, I'm just not finding it in my chaos of notes here, but there was a match where, Ranna was against Koguma, and, like, it was a big multi-person tag match. So it was, like, Koguma, Momo Kogo, and, Waka for some reason. I feel like there may have been somebody else, but I can't recall it without my notes right now. Um, but there was, they were wearing shuri masks, like, printed out on a piece of paper and then put holes in it to hold a string on their face, and they all came out like shuri and
mm,
tried to convince Rana that they were shuri and that shuri would want her to do
yeah, okay. So I've got it here from the website. So
yes.
again,
Okay,
like
good.
Suri never does the bear pose. She refuses to do it.
No,
So
why would
the
she?
condition of this match is that if Koguma lost, she would never force any person from God's Eye to do the bear pose in the future. And if
Mhm,
Yagami lost,
mhm.
she would do the bear pose with all her might to make up for what she has done so far. And it was just like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it was
yeah,
a good
uh,
time, good time.
yeah. I'm just, um, she goes to do the bear dance early in the match, but like Suri's yelling her, "Don't do it!" Like you could just see how furious Suri was.
Oh, yeah.
Rana gets a cross armbar early. Koguma gets to the ropes. Koguma gets the camel clutch and does the bear ears on Rana's head, pissing Suri off.
Oh,
Um,
she's losing her shit on the
yeah.
outside. You know that scream
Hmm.
that she has. She was just oh, it
Yeah.
was so fun. This was a funny match.
Yeah. Rana Koguma's on the floor. Ranna gets an apron PK. She gets her back in the ring, starts unloading kicks, hits the PK to the back for 2. Eventually, Koguma hits a cutter off the top, but Ranna comes back with a kick and the flying leg lariat for 2. Koguma eventually gets the rear naked choke and does the swinging rear naked choke, takes it to the ground. Ranna rolls him into the ropes, but then Koguma goes to the top, hits the flying body press, and Koguma is your victor. So Ranna is forced to do the bear pose.
And Judy runs away.
Well, we'll talk about that in a sec, but I'll let you. Any thoughts on the match before I get into the post match?
First of all, did you see the bruises on the side of Yagami's face? Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, well, like on her like neck and up here. Damn. She took some rough kicks there. Um, you pretty much got almost everything that I wrote down. I just wanted to shout out the calm and just cool, collected attitude that Yagami was able to keep throughout this entire match while Koguma was just trying to like ham it up and make her laugh. You could and Koguma sitting there smiling. You could see the sparkle
Mm-hmm.
of a smile in Yagami's eyes, but the face she was able to keep very in the character that she was supposed to be portraying at that time, and I loved it because it speaks. Shuri's the same way, the exact same way she's able to transition easily between serious and comedic roles, as we see here tonight. um, so yeah, um, the last thing I wanted to mention was there was a kick. I didn't know what to call it because I am not a martial artist. I literally wrote it down as the whippity axe kick by Yagami because it was like she just did an axe kick, which like was the foot coming down, but the way she set it up, she got into a side kick position, threw her leg up, down, sideways, back up again, and then pulled it back down, but in like this insane, like drawing a 4 in the air with her
A
foot.
figure 4, a figure 4 kick. I don't know.
A figure
Call that.
4 axe kick, apparently.
Yeah, figure 4
Like,
kick. There we go.
it looked really freaking cool and just showed off her martial arts background. What I'm really liking about what we're seeing in Japanese wrestling is we're seeing a lot of these people who are in mixed martial arts, like Rani Yagami, like obviously like Akira, even like Ulka Sasaki, just coming in out of a fighter's background and successfully transitioning into the technicality and different styling of professional wrestling while still being able to be a fighter and a wrestler. It's really cool to watch, and I like to see the success rate here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So post match, Koguma gets back. She says, "Yamagi is strong. I was surprised. I was nervous to start to finish. I was planning to give 120% today, but I really got the sense of how much you want to play as Kuma, which is the bear." Uh, Imagi gets the mic. She says, "It's been a year since my debut. I've always wanted to become stronger with God's Eye, and to be honest, as a person, I have nothing against God's Eye, and I don't understand that line. And Rana Yamagi. But Koguma-san, I have a request. I'd like the best Kuma call in this Pack Core Q and Hall." Koguma says, "I love you, Yamagi. Of course, I'm going to make the biggest bear call ever, so let's make bears together. I'm counting on you all, including everyone in the balcony. Here we go. Ready." Just remember, New Japan only had half the audience that Stardom had at this in this same venue the next day. So just remember, they packed this venue. New Japan couldn't it. The crowd starts yelling "bear." Kagumi does a bear pose. Yamagi joins her. Suri just Suri just starts flipping out. She is grabbing her head like trying to cover her ears.
No,
Kagumi starts
no, no.
Koguma's yelling, "Suri, Suri, Suri, I'm sure you're looking forward to that moment coming." Suri just runs out, clutching her ears, running out of the building. Koguma says, "Congratulations, Yamagi and Kuma. From now on, starting today, I would like to ask that you all please allow Kuma Yagami." Or, yeah. Or, sorry, no,
No.
Kuma Yamagi, yeah. Yeah. She takes the microphone and she says, "This is the last bear I'll ever play. I won't play bears anymore, and I won't lose to Koguma because I played bears today. I'll be promoted faster than anyone else. Just you wait and see."
I have faith. You get it, girl.
This is all coming to Suri eventually doing the bear pose. This is all gonna end up with Suri doing the bear pose at some point.
Probably not voluntarily.
No, she's eventually gonna lose a match to Koguma and have to do the bear pose. This is what's gonna happen. Yeah.
R.I.P. Shuri. R.I.P.
We move on. 6-woman tag match. It is Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurara, and Yuna Mizumori. I just had to. Taking on Hates, Natsuka Toraraka, and the Clown.
Fuki can death.
Not the Clown. Cosmic Angels all attack Hate for the bell. They gang up on the Clown. Raka trips up Kurara, and Hate takes over. Hate drops Kurara, and Raka splashes her, and then Tora splashes onto both of them. I found that very funny.
Sorry, I was giggling when you said hate takes over, and all I could think of was that song. You know, when love takes over? When hate takes over, yeah.
I have no idea.
I'll send it to you after.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Tora ends up missing Kurara when she gets tossed into the Hate corner. The Clown going for her corner attack to Yuna Mizumori at one point, but Kurara cuts her off, and you can hear an audible groan and boo from this crowd who really want to see the Clown do her stupid shit.
Well, yeah, because just because you don't like her doesn't mean she's not over with the crowd.
Yeah, but the crowd is stupid. The Japanese fans are stupid. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Just those fans in that venue were stupid. Yeah. The Clown versus Yuna running
venue
into a
that
roll.
sold out more than New Japan. That venue.
True. Yeah, because they're stupid.
No, they just got taste.
Yeah, they have taste for every other, and they'll just like they just sit here during this shit. The Clown reverses Yuna running and gets a roll up for the win. Boo the Clown. All right, we're moving on to the next match.
No, we're not, because we're going to talk about how the one fail that Fukigen Death did tonight. She clearly changed whatever makeup brand she's using. Half of her face paint rubbed off in this match. I was disappointed.
So she's even worse than she was before. See?
What did I tell you before in the last match? There's no bad people in this company. There's only people who are just good.
No,
You know, there's no
bad.
bad. It's good.
Fuki's bad. Fuki's bad.
The opinions of Andre C is only 2/3 complete and is not a shared opinion of Andre and Melball's wrestling talk.
It's fully completed. It's the only one we care about.
No, stop talking for me. Anyway, yeah, they actually started beating on Fukigen Death pretty early in this one, feeding her that triple drop kick that they like to do. There was a pin attempt from Ruaka on Kurara for 2, where she transitioned into a crossface, which I thought was pretty good. Lots of crossfaces on this show, I noticed. Lots of people picking up that move again, which I like because it's a very useful move. I don't think that Tora misted her. I think she just spit water in her face. There's no coloration, unfortunately, but same
It was
purpose.
a clear miss. It's a clear miss. Come on.
It was a distraction. It was an obvious distraction, and it distracted successfully. Ruaka took out the other. Yeah, Ruaka ran across the ring and took out the other girls at this point. When Sayaka came in, she cleared out Tora and Ruaka, which I thought was really cool with her strikes. Yeah, Sayaka has a very, very, or not Sayaka, Kurara. No, not Kurara. Sakura. God damn it, these women and their amazing names.
Aya Sakura and Sayaka
Yes,
Kurara.
that's who I'm referring. Yes, I know. Shoosh. Sakura has some really amazing kicks. I think she's called the Kick Angel. Rightfully so. Her kicks are freaking incredible and very, very well controlled. There was the triple senton on Mizumori by Hate, where they all just took the rounds, falling on her. Um, and yeah, Fukigen pinning Mizumori for the win. I was disappointed with that. It was a very
You were
odd.
disappointed.
Well, yeah, because when I saw this, I expected Cosmic Angels to be picking up a win. Not because I don't like Hate. I obviously I like Hate. Um, the thing was, I look at the experience level of all of these women, and I say there's two newbies on Cosmic Angels, and there's the one obvious fall person in Fukigen Death on the Hate team. It's a 2-to-1 kind of thing there. The Cosmic Angels had a higher potential of losing this match to me, just based on that. You had the strongest member of them, though, fall to what I would, and it's not to take away from Fuking and Death. She's a very experienced wrestler. She's just, in comparison to Netsuko Tora and Waka, she is the weakest link on that team. So to have the weakest link pin the strongest one on the opposing team, that's why I was disappointed. Because this was actually, for me, a really fun, quick match to showcase all of these women. They all got to pop off something to entertain the crowd with. But like the ending was a little like head scratchy to me. I'm not gonna complain about a hate win though, but dang, it just seemed weird.
So I just put Fukigen Death's name into Google Translate,
Hmm.
and it says Fukigen Death means not dangerous, which I agree with.
Clearly not. She beat Mizumori though.
She's not dangerous. That's what I'm going to call her from now on. I'm going to call her
I
not
mean, she
dangerous.
hits people with a newspaper. I'm going to assume that, yeah, you're probably right in there.
Yeah. We move on. 8-woman tag match. It stars Hanan, Hazuki, Maika, and Momo Kogo. The H's and M's versus God's Eyes. God damn it, this is a new name for me. Kyoka Kotatsu. I think I did it right. Saki
Yep.
Kashima Siri and Tomoaka Inaba. I got it right the first time. Wow.
Mm.
Usually I'm not that good.
You got to take it. You got to do it the way I do my eyeliner. Don't think about it. Just do it.
So Mayu Iwatani literally dropping the ball during her intro. She literally dropped the softball before she could throw it. I
Well,
laughed so hard.
I mean, she plays it off so nicely too, though.
So I gotta give real big props to God's Eyes gear here.
Hmm.
They all have different gear.
Hmm.
It's all their own looks, but they all have just something in the gear that each kind of works with the other's gear. Where if you look at stars, everybody has it's just their own gear. Like Hanan and
Hmm.
Mayu's are similar, but like Momo's is very different, and Hazuki's is very different from her.
Hmm.
Where God's Eyes are all different, but they have similarities to each of their gears.
I feel like God's Eye all has a God's Eye logo on them somewhere
Oh,
in
I'm
some
just
way.
saying the style and the look of it have similarities, but are different. But they have similarities to them. I don't know what it is.
Mm.
It's how I felt looking at it today. I don't know what it was.
Well, they are
Mm,
all very like strappy styled gear, but
mm,
again, I do believe that all of them have an eye, like not the name God's Eye, but the eye logo
mm,
somewhere on their gear, except for Kyoka,
mm.
who I think
Well,
just
she's
has
new.
her, yeah, she just has her like her baby gear, her Rian gear, the new blood gear, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it also still has straps in it though, which makes it work even more with the combination of God's Eye there. So yeah, you're right.
I think Hina's is the only gear that sticks out to me. Even Lady C's gear, well, being the gear she's had for a long time, fits the look of everybody else except
Mhm.
for Hina. Hina's the only one that doesn't fit.
Lady C also did change her gear when she joined God's Eye,
Yeah,
so I think that gear got made, but Hina also did change that gear when she
but it
went
doesn't
into
look right.
God's Eye, and it just yeah, you're right, it doesn't fit. Because even, Lady C's jacket matches God's Eye and their ideology a little bit more. You're right.
Hmm.
Good observation.
Um, Momo, there's a spot where they get what was it Kyoka in the corner in Star's corner, and Momo's telling the crowd to quiet down, or is it Inaba? I can't remember which one it was.
Where
Um,
she does that terrible chop.
and she goes to chop her and nothing, so she tries it again, and she does get a good sound off the next chop.
Yeah.
Then Mayu gets in, gets a good crack on hers. Hanan gets in, gets an okay one. She
Mhm,
her
mhm,
first shot at least made a sound, and then
mhm.
Hazuki comes in and just pancakes Kyoka in the chest, and just it sounded like she murdered her chest with that job. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god,
That was
yeah.
like, I only say it because I saw it most recently, but like Marufuji, he has some very loud chops. That was the loud kind of noise you got of Hazuki's chop on this one.
Hmm.
That was a clappy thudder. Is what it was. You heard the thud and the clap on that one.
Yeah.
Thunderclap.
Thunderclap. Hazuki and Suri, they're just trading strikes at one point. It just looked phenomenal with how hard they
Mm,
were hitting each other. Um, Godze stops that face buster bulldog code breaker thingy,
mm,
and they all attack stars. They quadruple team Momo. Suri gets a sharpshooter on Momo, but Hazuki breaks it up, and this is where stars hits their like facebuster bulldog double bulldog codebreaker thing to Shuri. Um, Momo does get a big bridging German suplex to Shuri for two, but in the end, Momo goes for this. It's a super kick, but Shuri comes back with a pump knee for two. Then she applies the white tiger, which is the stretch muffler, and she gets the submission win. And then hate attack after the match.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in that moment, Kyoko earning some stripes with God's Eye, throwing herself on top of Shuri to protect her from the attacking God's Eye, which may have garnered her some attention from the hate members, which is probably not a good thing going forward.
Mm.
Um, what have I got to say on this? The quadruple drop kick by Stars, always a nice little team move that they do. Um, yeah, the terrible chops part. There was one point where Inaba ate a pumping knee or jumping knee from Hazuki, who then pins her. And then when Inaba kicked out, Hazuki creepily and gleefully transitioned her into that crossface. Where she was did you see just the creepy smile on her face? Like, she was even just smiling before because she's like, "I know what's coming. She's gonna hop out this way and whoop, ha, yeah, got you in a crossface. How are we doing now?" Like, it was so evil and yet awesome and hilarious at the same time. I enjoyed that little quiet moment. And that's some of those things that like that effortless showmanship and in-ring psychology that I love to see from these wrestlers. Ah, there was one point I like barely remember seeing Kashima doing anything but hiding. But there was one point where she came in with a head scissors to Hazuki, who was beating the ever-loving heck out of Shuri, I think, at this point. Oh, no, she was Kikyo, or Kyoka. She was beating the ever-loving heck out of her. Kashima comes in to save her. Um, oh, I lost my place in my notes. Oh, yeah, oh, sorry, it was Inaba that she was beating up. This allowed Inaba to hit a running kick to Hazuki, which, oh, whew, I mean, Inaba, another one with that martial arts background, but gosh dang, those kicks are absolutely brutal. And especially when she gets momentum coming off of the ropes, she has really figured out I'm guessing from repetition and training, how to really utilize that momentum. She doesn't stop when she's flying through you. A lot of people will end up stopping, planting their foot, and then feeding the kick, where she's still feeding the kick and not even hitting the ground. It's incredible how she works. Um, I love saying this. Shuri came in like a wrecking ball. She just cleared the house out of everybody. I absolutely love that. Stretch muffler for the win. It just showed good. I love that variation of it
White
too.
tiger. It's called the white tiger.
You see, and that's just confuses me further because the Sky Tiger also does a stretch muffler. That is a different variation and called a different thing. Like, stop making my job harder. Um, yeah, hate jumping God's Eye after. The problems obviously between Shuri and Konami are really boiling over. I, I love it though. I know it's not the best thing to say, but like they're the best two forces to be fighting with each other right now because they have two of the biggest factions within the company right now. They should be fighting. And especially with the history with Shuri and Konami, and then also Kashima. Then you have the Inaba sisters facing off against each other in Azusa, and Tomoaka. Like
Hmm?
it's such a perfect story that just writes itself, which I hope is the case because like it clearly doesn't have Gato markings on it.
Yeah. And then post match, Konami does get the mic. She says, "Hey, you bastards from Korakuen." This is directly off the website. And
No.
Shuri, it's been a while. Then she turns to Kyoka and goes, "So who are you?" She goes, "Well, because it doesn't. Because remember, this is Konami's return. Because she's been out since Dream Queendom when she had that weird ending with Shuri, where the match
Yeah.
really didn't happen. So this is her kind of returning.
Hmm.
So yeah,
I
she
really
said,
do think that was a head thing.
yeah, I think might have got concussed or something. She said, "Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who you are, but God's Eye's still playing around with this game. I'll put an end to that soon too." And then Suri gets the mic, says, "Konami, I've been waiting for this. Let's continue the story of our two factions and fight to the end."
Hmm. Hmm. And boy, howdy, are they fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love this factual warfare, though. You know I live for it.
Yeah.
It's an effortless story that just tells itself.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the semi-main event of the evening: Artist of Stardom Championships. It is Cosmic Angels, Nexus Boy Seriano, and Tam Nakano defending their championships against Neo Genesis, Azumi, 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 Miyamasaki, and Starlight Kid. Uh, the new, I love the glowing tubes on the jacket of Azumi.
Oh, yeah.
It makes her
What
like
do you think of the
neon kitty.
music?
It's okay.
I forgot to mention also in the last one, God's Eye also now has a God's Eye theme that they came
I
out to.
I don't. It's fine. I don't hate it
Mhm.
like I hate Hina's, but it's fine.
I mean, I feel it works because it is a very technical, like techno sounding song,
Mm.
given all of the members of Neo Genesis, minus Suzu. I feel like it works.
And then, and speaking of Suzu, Starlight Kid out with her Suzu Suzuki tribute gear here. From what I
Yeah,
like, the color, the kind of some styles on it, I really felt are like Suzu Suzuki tribute is what
very
this
red.
gear
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And then Cosmic Angels is out. The more I see it, the more I don't like the new look of Tam Nakano. I don't like her hair, and I don't like the new style of her gear.
I understand why. Because I feel like I like the idea of it, but something about the midriff of it, I think it's the material bags out a little bit as she does more and more and more. So it starts to look a little Like, she's swimming in it. Does that seem right?
Yeah,
Or
I
is
don't
it
know
just
what
you
it
just
is.
don't like it?
I just don't care for the style. I prefer her old
So,
style. I like
with
the
me.
old style of her gear. Personally, again, it's nothing's bad about it. There's nothing bad about it. I just don't
It's
care for
just
it.
not your favorite. That's fair.
And and again, I like Tam with the longer hair personally. It's just
I get that.
personal. But Natsupoi,
Well, I don't think the haircut she got from that Sukatora was voluntary.
I know. But Natsupoi, her new look, because we've been talking about her being this like feral little fairy. This new
Mhm.
look is feral fairy.
It
Because there's
is.
like the cuts in it and like how it kind of looks almost unfinished in certain ways. Um,
Yeah, the way that the skirt was constructed, it's not like Tam Nakano who has a full tutu on hers like they usually do. It's like chunks of the
yeah,
tutu
yeah.
only. Yeah.
I really like this for
Mhm.
Nat because again with this more kind of angry, more vicious side we've seen of her lately. This gear, especially the white and it's white and black too. It's not her usual
Mhm.
white and yellow. It's the white and black. Because
Mhm.
Tam's kind of taking the white and yellow,
Mhm.
where Nat's now the white and black, and I like it. It's getting I love the evolution of it. The hair is longer
Mhm.
now. Again, I really like it.
She took her extensions out. Yeah, the hair length that you see on her is her natural length right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, again, I took a lot of notes for this one. I was really into this one.
Nice.
I'm just gonna go through a couple of them. Tan
Sure.
hits like Miyu with his hard forearm at one point, and then Miyu comes back with just comes right back with a pendulum, big old pendulum DDT. I literally like
Mhm.
that. Neo Genesis at one point getting the triple submissions to the Cosmic Angel Girls.
Mhm.
Netsport eventually fights to the rope to break Starlight Kid's stretch muffler. Um, Starlight Kid reversing the Natsupoi Fisherman Buster into a cross leg Fisherman Buster, but Miss is coming off the top, and this is where Nat hits a beautiful looking head on her, like just crushing her with
Mhm.
it. Yeah, there's some really good spots throughout this. Neo Genesis has this like triple team move that almost looked like the Thunder Valley from Mikey and Shane from Team DK, where they lift the person
Mhm.
up and they swing them back down, slamming them.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Neo Genesis did a version of this, but
yeah.
with
Mhm.
Miyu coming, grabbing the legs and spine bustering her down with the. It looked
Yeah.
like a spine buster Thunder Valley. I was like, "Ooh, I like that."
Yeah, and, like, I think from what I could see from the camera angle, Starlight Kid and Azumi, whipped the legs
Like
when
yeah,
they
like
slid
Thunder Valley
through.
style. Yeah,
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
swung her back
But they,
around.
like, slid through, like, they did the baseball slide, like, whereas,
Yeah,
like, Mikey Nichols and Shane Haystack, they'll do a different,
yeah. They just
more unique to
lift them
them variation.
and then swing them around. Where
Yeah, whereas,
yeah,
like, Azumi and Starlight Kid, they hit the ropes and, like, baseball slid the legs through to make it their
mhm,
little thing. Yeah, I did see that, and I was like, "Where did I see that before? I know I've seen that."
yeah.
Well, thank you
So
for filling in
you're
that.
yeah, that's what I thought of with Thunder Valley, but with like a spine buster and the whip on the end of it. I really like that.
Mm,
Starlight Kid then hits a twisting frog splash, and Azumi comes off the top with a double stomp, but the pin gets broken up. A lot, and then series of reversals with Anu and Azumi. Anu scores a huge German. Nat gets tagged in. Anu hits the slam. Nat hits a Ferio splash on Azumi for two. Then Tam gets tagged in and gets a Tiger suplex to Azumi, but the pin gets broken up. Anu comes in and hits his beautiful looking like ripcord headhunter, where she got the wrist clutch headhunter that she does. Really
mhm,
like that. She gets a two there. Azumi reversing the Japanese Ocean Cyclone suplex into an Azumi Sushi for two. Anu hits the Enziguri. Azumi comes back with La Mystica into the armbar, then into the double armbar. But Anu gets out of it and then gets that bridging backslide the backslide into the bridge that she does for
mhm.
two. The end of this match comes. Miyu comes in, hits the assisted tornado DDT, and O2 line, which is Azumi and Miyu, hit this dual cradle DDT move. I really like that. Onto Anu with the pin gets broken up. Starlight Kid and Tam get Starlight Kid and God damn it,
Right?
Starlight Kid and Miyu Amasaki take out the rest of Cosmic Angels. Azumi hits this double underhook Canadian Destroyer, which was sick. And she
Mm-hmm.
gets Azumi Sushi for the win.
New champs.
New champs. I don't have a picture. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
They
We
will be in the
are.
thumbnail. I will make sure they're on the thumbnail. Don't worry. But
um, what do I have to add to this? There was one point where Natsupoi was going back and forth with Starlight Kid, having a lot of problems. Tam Nakano came in. They hit that double Meltier thrust kick where their feet are so high that they're touching the ground. I love it. Um, there was one point where Azumi was doing what looked to be attempting to do the three amigos on Anu. She only got two of them before Anu took the third as a fisherman hook suplex instead. Um, the synchronized arm drags by or top rope arm drags by Starlight Kid and Azumi on Anu and Natsupoi were so good. So good. Um, there was one point where there was just bodies everywhere. Everyone was just popping things off and just taking out everybody as they do in Japan. It's the kind of final wind down of the match, and I love it. Um, you mentioned the triple team, and yeah, Azumi Sushi for the win. I'm happy about this only because for me as a fan right now, I love the Cosmic Angels, but something about this last half a year has felt unnatural about them. They've been getting odd pushes in places that they probably shouldn't have been getting pushed quite yet without having earned it. And like
mm-hmm.
Tam Nakano, biggest example of that. We love Tam Nakano, but we were calling her the undeserving champion for a very importante reason. She didn't earn that opportunity. Arguably, Poi didn't really earn the One and Wonder title either. They were sitting there on the gold for a while, pretty much not doing a whole lot. And I honestly forgot for a while there that they were the Artist of Stardom champions. Let's hope that 2025 can be the reinvigoration of tag team wrestling and the trios wrestling as well, so that we can start to see these titles being more meaningful and having a little bit more time. And because I was excited once I saw this was a title match, I forgot these titles existed for a bit. Now I know that's the case in other places as well. Ring of Honor.
AEW, Ring of Honor, multiple. Yeah.
Right?
WWE forgets about their women's tag team title sometimes.
Like, let's make tag team wrestling great again.
Yeah. So post match, Azumi gets the microphone. She says, "We got the belt. Am I Azumi? Azumi, thank you." And the crowd starts chanting, "Azumi, Azumi, Azumi." She goes, "Thank you, thanks a lot. I got the pink belt back after 5 years. I'm so happy. Hey, Tam Nakano, who said kid? Who said kid was shit? Don't underestimate me. I'm your senior." I was like, okay. Um, well, I'm so happy that this group got the belts. I'm so happy. I can't find words to express it. What should I do? That's right. I'm sorry. I can't think straight. Well, at this rate, Neo Genesis has two double champions, which is Miyu Amasaki as your future and now artist champion, and Starlight Kid as your wonder and artist stardom champion. That's great. Neo Genesis will keep on snatching all the belts. I look forward to it. And after this, Suzu Suzuki will be challenging for the red belt. So please support Suzu Suzuki too.
And yeah, I mean, the only one at this point when she said it, the only one who didn't have a title is Suzu Suzuki in this faction, which is crazy. Crazy to think. Love it though.
Because, yeah,
Love
May's
it.
the high speed now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yar yar.
And speaking of Suzu Suzuki, It's time for the main event of the evening. It is Saya Kamitani defending the World of Stardom Championship against Neo Genesis Suzu Suzuki.
Oh, the
Man,
falls.
and this match is scheduled for one fall.
Oh, the falls.
Nobody said one fall. Um,
Yeah, because we don't do it when we're asked for it.
or when you yell, "This match is scheduled for," and you put the mic out for everybody else to say one fall. No, no, no. Just say it. Let the crowd yell one fall back at you, and then move on. Kamitani's entrance robe. Holy poop! I love that robe. That is glorious. All the feathers, the black feathers, and everything. Glorious.
Mhm.
Glorious.
On the little like taily things that are dangling off of chains on the arms. Oh, whoever
Glorious.
made that is a genius.
Yeah. So they start striking to start the match off, and she slides out and does that point where Suzu will come to the outside, she'll slide in, and as Suzu comes in, she'll slide out. Eventually, she does baseball slide Suzu, it hits a springboard across the floor. She then gets to the chair, goes in, sits on it, starts making gestures and stuff at Suzu. This is where Suzu gets a chair and decides, I'm going to sit on my chair, and gives her the ultimate gesture of the double bird and flips Saya Kamitani off. This is where they start just yelling at each other, and then Hate in front of the referee just runs up and starts beating up Suzu Suzuki. I'm like, he does nothing except say, hey, don't do that. And in
I
all
mean,
this,
what is he gonna do realistically? He's got how many women at ringside he needs to these are the two he needs to watch.
yeah, but when he sees the one's entire team attack the other, that should be a disqualification. I hate
This
I
company is
hate
also
Stardom
run
refs.
by a guy whose main booking was a college level match at a bar. So what?
I just hate Stardom referees because they don't.
You know, in general, it's not even just the Stardom referees, because now that we're watching Noah, there's that one referee who always holds that third count. And same in Stardom. It's why you hate Marty Asadi. Marty Asadi always hangs that third count. Maybe it's something about the
No,
reffing
no, no, no.
quality out there.
I
We need
hate
to
red
send Ben
shoes.
over to. Yeah, but you also hate Marty Asadi
No,
because
no.
Marty
Mar-
Asadi hates that
no,
third count. He always does it. The
I'm
only one
back
you
on the
like
Marty
there
Sami
is the
train.
guy with the crazy hair, um, Nakashima, and
No, Taito. Taito.
no, Taito's the American one.
Yeah, that's the one I like.
Yeah, but you also like the crazy-haired one in New Japan.
I thought that was Taito. Okay, whatever.
No, Taito's the little one here for the
No,
strong
okay.
brand.
I like the little one in New Japan too. There's a little tiny guy in New Japan too.
Yeah, that's the crazy hair one.
Yeah, I like him. I thought they were the same
Yeah,
guy.
Nakashima.
Nakashima, I like him. So later in the match, Kamitani, they're on an apron. She wants to do okay. So she gets Suzu in the ropes, dumps water on her head, then licks Suzu's face, and then she up kicks her in the head and pulls her to the apron. She
Yeah,
wants to do a suplex, but can't. Suzu reverses, gets her into like a pile driver position, and like pile driver bombs her on the apron. I don't know what to call it because she like sat down into it, but it was like almost like a power bomb pile driver thing. It was really odd. It looked brutal. She
yeah.
takes her into the crowd, takes her up to the famous Korakuen sign, and starts slamming her face into it. Happens
The
in so many Korakuen
East Side.
shows. The East Side sign that so many wrestlers do that with. She then gets out an umbrella and smacks her
Ella,
with an umbrella.
Ella, Ella, J,
A
J,
A
J.
A
Oh, now I see.
under
I did
my
Ella
L.
J.
Yeah, I realized what you're doing after I was going into mine.
Shout out Ella J. We love
I don't,
her.
but I don't want to do the back half of the part because it would sound creepy.
Yeah, yeah. Don't do that.
No. Um, Later in the match, Suzu gets Kamitani up top. She goes for a German, but they almost fall forward to the floor. They catch themselves. They fight a little more.
Yeah.
And she hits the German off the top. She then proceeds to hit another German in the ring, rolls through into another bridging German for 2. Then she gets her up for one more bridging German for another 2. Suzu is literally trying to break this woman's neck. She then
Well,
hits a she then hits a buzzsaw kick, goes up to the top. This is where Kamitani just does that rise, that like kip up rise that she does. It looks so good.
mhm.
And attacks her up top. She hits as I'm calling it now, the Frankensteiner off the top, which is the Frankensteiner or the Frankensteiner off the top.
Why are we calling it the Frankensteiner?
Because Braun Breaker does it now, and it's his dad, it's his uncle's move. It was a Frankensteiner named after one Scott Steiner, and now Braun Breaker does it, so it's now the Frankensteiner.
Yeah, I don't watch WWE.
You watched it with us on the weekend.
That doesn't mean I know it though.
Yeah, she hits the Hurricane, the Ranna off the top, but she only gets 2. They start slapping the hell out of each other. Suzu hits a super kick and a German, but Kamitani comes back with a poison Ranna, and then Suzu comes back with her own poison Ranna. Kamitani then hits another poison Ranna, gets 2. She then picks up Suzu Suzuki, Star Crusher, and she gets the win. Dude, this match was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, easy match of the night. These two should fight like every show in a singles match.
Well, like, I say this about some people because there are some people throughout these companies that we can see who you just put in matches to have incredible fracking matches. Tomohiro Ishii, Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste, Suzu Suzuki. And she has been a mainstay in the title position because of how good she is, I feel. Anyway, because how many times have we seen her challenge for the red belt in the last 2 years and not attain it? I am going to mark the hell out when she does finally win it because my goodness, she's been chasing it for an unnecessary amount of time for the amount of work that she has put into this company, leaving prominence to join Stardom permanently full time, much to the dismay of Risa Sera and subsequently herself. Because when Risa Sera and Hiragi Kurumi, I guess the other one's name, when they both show up in Stardom, it's usually a rough day in the office for Suzu. And Suzu has been defiantly in everybody's faces who won't fight her. So I love the evolution that we've seen her go through since joining Stardom, though. All red hair now. She's got that lip ring. She's been messing around more with the makeup, changing her styling, her gear, that red and black gear that kind of is all, it's like a red underlay with like a black lace tearing all over top of it. I love watching her evolve and even seeing her in this badass form. She still fits so perfectly in Neo Genesis. We just got to get her a title.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
In regards,
IWGP maybe.
it would be nice actually, because then we could see her on an international scale. Um, the only thing that I have that you didn't mention. Oh, there was a plancha by Kamitani to Neo Genesis and everyone on the outside by yes,
Yeah,
by Kamitani, as I mentioned.
that was the springboard splash. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, change the name on me. You always say plancha.
Well, no,
That's the only
plancha
reason
is
I
what
knew it.
plancha is what Sonata does when he just grabs the rope and launches himself over the top. It's on the floor.
That's what she did.
No, she came up to the top rope, bounced off the top rope, and springboard splashed to the floor.
So the action after the rope is the exact fracking same, and we change it.
No, because
It,
Sonata doesn't bounce off the top rope. Saya Kamitani pulls her like what ELP does. She bounces off the top. where Sanada just jumps over the rope. That's all he does. That's a plancha. Okay, and Kamitani
I'm
pulls
just
across
gonna
the...
call it a dive from now on, because y'all just be too extra with your bullshit.
Next time we hang up, I
Tracking
will make
having
sure I
to
have I will have the videos and I will show you the difference.
No, what we need is people to stop being so unnecessary complicated with your bullshit and this shit. Frack. Just do an arm drag.
It's
God
very
damn it.
simple. It's very simple.
No, it actually is. Excuse you?
No, it's Suzu.
There was an axe kick that Kamitani did that was really good. And that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
You said excuse you, and I said no, it's Suzu. That's the best part about that.
The best part is the end.
Oh, you really liked what happened after the match, eh? So we get to the post match. I feel so judged with the way she's looking in the camera.
You should.
I'm so scared right now. Kamitani says, Suzu, you're really crazy, but today I realized that after fighting, you're the best. Today I was able to fight with the best people for the best belt in the best venue, Korakuen. You should be grateful too. When she throws the microphone away, sticks her tongue out. Suzu then gets the mic, says, Saya, let me be your servant, which I was like, weird. Suzu kneels. Kamitani puts her foot out for Suzu to lick it, which is weird. She goes to do it, but then she says on the mic, who do you think I'd say that, you idiot? Your legs still stink. Well, I'll honestly admit defeat today. In the semifinal, Neo Genesis took the belts. I did not. There's just one thing. After fighting you today, I feel I've seen what I really want to do. Thanks. She offers a handshake. Kamitani just gives her a nod. Suzu leaves. Kamitani then says, what do you guys think? This is the biggest nightmare in Stardom history. The next defense of the red belt. And Tam Nakano appears. Please stay away from my main event scene. Please, God, stay away from my main event scene. Nakano says, I want my red belt back. Kamitani says, no. What? You just lost the other day. Who do you think you are? Maybe you're just stupid, which I like that line. You're just stupid. How do you remember? Nakano says, there's no way it can end like that. You trample on people's hearts and pro wrestling. You're a false champion. No, Tam. You were the false champion. No, you get that wrong. Kamitani says, yes. I get it. Calm down. So for poor Tam's sake, maybe make a suggestion. February 24th, you team up with... God, the writing here doesn't make any sense, but she's teaming up with somebody. Let's have a tag match. If you win, I'll grant you anything you wish for. But if you lose, and she pulls Kurara in, I'll take her away. And I'm like, what? So she wants Kurara now. Tam goes, let go. Hey, let go. I told you to let go. Kamitani dodges Nakano's charge, but Kurara fires off a spear. Kurara says, Tam, I don't think it's right to take it away. Let's do it. I can protect myself. Please, Tam, believe in me. Tam says, I believe in you. Kamitani, let's do it. Kamitani says, so it's decided. I'll say goodbye to you forever. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kamitani's been kind of toying with the idea of Kurara joining the dark side for a strong couple of weeks now, probably since the beginning of the year. So yeah, that makes sense that they would put her up there as the offering. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah. So we have come to the end of another episode of Stardom Review. I should really bring the banners up. You can find me on the X Blue Sky, That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, in YouTube, right here on YouTube.com/ at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find us in audio form, aPlusProductions.com, to add the RSS feed to your podcast catcher of choice. You can also find Mike playing all of our stuff over at this is a Backbreaker Video, and you can see us live stuff at twitch.tv/ Mike the Ref. You can also catch me over on our local establishment doing Japanese wrestling update with Melball. I have Marvel Talk coming up soon with more stuff there. I'll be doing it'll already have happened by the time the video is up. We had the Point of View Super Bowl watch along, and so much more coming out soon from OLE. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow me on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow me on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's programming, Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. We will be not live this, no, we will be live this Friday because our wrestling is on Saturday. So we will see you 8 p.m. Mountain Time with all the latest and greatest in Japanese Wrestling Update. Well, you can also find me tomorrow, Monday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time-ish, on our local establishment for our show, Women's Classic Wrestling, where we are watching the Mae Young Classic Finals and beginning Season 2, 2018, I believe, Mae Young Classic. So stay tuned to our socials to find out exactly when that is coming out. You can also find me on Thursday nights at 8:30-ish Mountain Time, where we do the Honor Ramble with myself, Auntie Collins, and Kyle Sparks, where we review the atrocities that happen on Ring of Honor. Um, yeah, you could also find me on Astro Bizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. Stay tuned to our socials to see when that's coming out. If you're wanting to watch Stardom Wrestling, we will leave a link in the description down below. It is stardom-world.com. It is, I don't know the yen, but it's approximately 750 Canadian is what I'm paying right now. It's a great price to watch some amazing women's wrestling, and you can go back into their library and watch all of their older materials, see some familiar faces from the WWE and AEW, like Piper Niven, Tony Storm, Bea Priestley. If you don't know who that is, go look. You'll know. You'll like it.
She was just released, wasn't she?
That's what I'm going at, because they probably didn't know her as Bea Priestley. They know her as Blair Davenport, because Lord knows they can't have a history before going into the dementia era.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Stardom-world.com. Andre, my just a friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you for tuning in here on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk or on A Plus Productions. If you are listening to A Plus Productions, give us a shout out on your, give us 5-star on your podcast catcher of choice, and go join the Facebook page at A Plus Productions. And if you are watching on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk or on Backbreaker Video on the YouTubes, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us out, tell your friends, family, and those little goth people that you like to hang out with at night. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Hello. That being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah.